Would you spend a winter snowed in a luxury hotel where every hallway whispers your name? Perched high in the Colorado Rockies, the Overlook Hotel was supposed to be a peaceful retreat. Grand architecture, endless halls, and a view to die for. Literally. What begins as a caretaker job for Jack Torrance quickly spirals into a descent into madness thanks to the Overlook's most loyal guests, its ghosts. The hotel's haunted story is no secret. Mafia hits, suicides, and an entire family axed to death in room 237. The walls absorb violence like a sponge, and when winter seals off the roads, the isolation turns lethal. Jack, once a struggling writer and recovering alcoholic, slowly becomes the hotel's puppet, driven to destroy the very family he came to protect. But the Overlook isn't just haunted, it's alive. Time collapses here. The 1920s ballroom is always in full swing, filled with guests who've long since died. The ghostly bartender, the twins in the hallway, and the blood-soaked elevators, they're not just memories, they're invitations. Stephen King crafted the Overlook as a symbol of addiction, rage, and trauma, all wrapped in ghostly dread. It's not just a haunted hotel, it's a mirror that shows you your darkest self. And once you check in, you may never really leave. Would you dare to walk in those halls alone? Evil doesn't always wear a face. Sometimes it hides in the walls, the angles, and the silence. Hill House isn't haunted in the way most places are. It is the haunting. Built with warped geometry and soaked in sorrow, every brick seems to pulse with malevolent intent. From the moment you step through its doors, it watches you. It studies your grief, your guilt, your weakness, and then it feeds. Originally constructed by the mysterious Hugh Crane, the house has seen generations of pain, mysterious deaths, disappearances, and descent into madness. But unlike other haunted homes, Hill House doesn't rely on jump scares. It creeps in slowly, warping your perception until you're not sure whether the footsteps in the hall were real or just in your head. By the time you realize it's not you going crazy, it's the house twisting reality. It's already too late. Shirley Jackson's 1959 novel, and its chilling Netflix adaptation, redefined the haunted house genre by blending supernatural horror with psychological trauma. Hill House doesn't just haunt rooms, it haunts memories. It knows your secrets and turns them against you. Some say no one ever truly leaves Hill House. Even after the doors close, its touch lingers in dreams, in trauma, in guilt. Because once you've been inside Hill House, a part of it stays inside you. What if the creepy old house in your neighborhood wasn't just haunted, but was actually alive, angry, and hungry? In Monster House, the typical childhood fear of the spooky home next door gets a terrifying upgrade. DJ, Chowder, and Jenny think they're dealing with a grumpy old man and a rundown property. But after a few strange incidents, like the house literally eating people, they realize the truth. The house itself is a living, breathing monster. Fueled by the tormented spirit of its former owner's wife, Constance, the house grows teeth, a tongue, and a raging temper. It traps anything that gets too close, and it's not just luring kids in with creaky doors and broken windows. It wants to consume. Front yard, mouth. Carpet, tongue. Furnace, stomach. Yeah, good luck sleeping in that. But what makes Monster House stand out is that beneath all the horror is heartbreak. This isn't just a house with a ghost, it's a house born from grief, guilt, and isolation. The monster isn't evil just for the sake of it, it's wounded, lashing out like a hurt child. Blending dark fantasy, jump scares, and a surprising emotional punch, Monster House is that rare animated film that manages to be fun and genuinely creepy. And it asks a haunting question. If houses can remember love and loss, what happens when they decide to fight back? In this neighborhood, beware. Not all monsters live inside houses. Some are the house. Imagine moving into your dream home only to discover it's already occupied by something evil. The Dutch colonial house at 112 Ocean Avenue looks picture perfect, spacious, waterfront, and freshly renovated. But just 1 month after the Lutz family moves in, they flee in terror, leaving behind their belongings as a chilling legacy. And you know why? Because the house wasn't just haunted, it was angry. Before the Lutzes arrived, the house was the site of a real-life horror. Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family while they slept. But the fictionalized version takes that darkness and cranks it to 11. Doors slam on their own, green slime oozes from the walls, swarms of flies appear in winter, and a demonic pig watches from the windows. The house doesn't just contain spirits, it amplifies fear. Each day, the Lutzes are pulled deeper into madness. George wakes up at 3:15 a.m., the exact time of the DeFeo murders, while Kathy experiences violent visions. Their children speak to invisible friends, and the house itself seems to breathe. It's not just haunted, it's alive, and it wants them gone. Whether you believe the haunting or not, the story of 112 Ocean Avenue became a pop cultural phenomenon, spawning books, films, and a legend that refuses to die. The fictionalized Amityville isn't just a house, it's a symbol of how trauma leaves echoes and how some homes remember every scream. Once you enter Amityville, the real horror isn't getting out, it's what follows you. At first glance, Coraline's other house is perfect. It's cleaner, brighter, and filled with all her favorite things. Her parents are more attentive, dinner is delicious, and her room is magical. But this dream home is a spider's web, and the other mother is waiting at the center. Constructed in a twisted mirror of Coraline's real world, the other house is designed to lure her in and keep her forever. Every room, every smile, every button-eyed face is part of a carefully curated illusion. The house learns what you love, then uses it against you. But once you agree to stay, you're no longer a guest, you're prey. As Coraline uncovers the truth, she finds that the other mother has already trapped other children's souls using the same sweet lies and stitched up charm. The house, like its creator, doesn't age, it devours. Its walls are stitched with whispers, and behind its candy-coated curtains lies a cold, hollow hunger. Neil Gaiman's tale isn't just a dark fantasy, it's a chilling warning about wish fulfillment and the cost of ignoring reality. The other house doesn't just haunt, it manipulates, offering a paradise that turns into a prison. And in this house, once you sew on the buttons, there's no waking up. Some places aren't haunted by ghosts, they're cursed by something far older and far more evil. Deep in the Tennessee woods sits an isolated cabin that looks like the perfect getaway. No neighbors, no distractions, just silence and trees. But when a group of friends stumbles upon a strange book bound in human flesh and inked in blood, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, they unknowingly unleash a demonic force that doesn't just haunt the cabin, it possesses it. The moment the incantations are read aloud, reality cracks open. An unseen evil stirs in the woods, racing toward the cabin with a scream that never stops. One by one, the friends fall into some disfigured, some possessed, all tormented. The house becomes a prison of blood, vines, and voices that don't belong to the living. The Evil Dead cabin isn't just a setting, it's a character. Its floorboards creak like warnings, the walls bleed, and the cellar hides something you should never open. It's a place where the line between life and death blurs, and sanity doesn't stand a chance. What makes this house so iconic isn't just the gore, it's the raw, unrelenting terror. Sam Raimi's vision turned a tiny wooden cabin into a legendary altar of horror, where evil laughs, the dead dance, and no one comes out clean. In this house, once the book is opened, your soul is not your own. Suppose you die, but couldn't leave your house, and then some loud, artsy strangers moved in and started redecorating your afterlife. That's exactly what happens in Beetlejuice, where the charmingly ordinary Maitlands become newly dead ghosts stuck haunting their beloved New England home. They just want peace and quiet, but when the loud, eccentric Dietz family moves in, their quiet afterlife takes a wild turn. Desperate to scare the Dietzes away, the Maitlands turn to Beetlejuice, a sleazy, chaotic bioexorcist who promises to help but unleashes pure madness instead. Suddenly, their home becomes a battleground of bizarre hauntings, giant sandworms, and a surreal afterlife bureaucracy. One minute, you're in your living room. Next, you're in a waiting room for the dead with a witch doctor and a shrunken head. The house itself reflects the chaos. Gothic meets modern art meets the afterlife DMV. Staircases move, sculptures attack, and ghosts throw dinner parties where shrimp cocktails grab your face. It's haunting turned hilariously upside down. Tim Burton's take on the haunted house flips the genre into a dark comedy, blending the creepy with the absurd. In this world, being dead is no excuse for being boring, and haunting isn't about fear, it's about flair. Because in this house, the dead don't rest in peace, they perform, and if you say his name 3 times, prepare for a haunting you'll never forget. What if your house wasn't just haunted, but was a gateway to a nightmare realm where the dead are dying to get in? To the unsuspecting eye, the Lambert family's house looks like any other suburban home, but the terror lurking within isn't confined to creaky floors or flickering lights. This house is a doorway to the further, a darker, astral dimension crawling with restless spirits and something far worse, the lipstick-faced demon. When young Dalton Lambert falls into an inexplicable coma, the family soon learns it's not his body that's unresponsive, it's his soul trapped in the further. Unlike typical hauntings, the spirits here don't just want attention. They want bodies, and Dalton's empty shell becomes the ultimate prize. What makes this so chilling is that it's not limited by space. The family moves houses, but the horror follows, because the real issue isn't where they live, it's who they are. Josh Lambert, the father, unknowingly passed down the ability to astral project, making both him and Dalton magnets for the other side. Director James Wan twisted the haunted house formula by showing us that evil doesn't just dwell in attics or closets. It lives beyond the veil, in a place where screams don't echo and time stands still. The Further isn't just a haunting, it's a hunting ground. And once you've crossed over, finding your way back might cost more than your soul. Which of these haunted houses would you never step foot in? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling and fascinating stories from fiction.